Oh.
Low 15.
Just a bad read on that last ball from Michelsen. You see Alex coming forward a little bit, as I said. Good play there.
15 up.
Robbie Ginepri there on the right. Former top 20 player. Started with Alex not too long ago.
Third C15.
We see Peppo Clavet, who splits coaching time with Karen Khachanov along with Vedran Martic.
Third C.
So some early pressure here for Michelsen, opening service game.
Trying to stand in and take that ball a little bit early. Just confronting the bounce a little bit too much for me. Closer you are to the bounce, the tougher it is to execute the shot normally.
Oh.
Both guys a few unforced errors here in this first game. Just working the bugs out. Big first serve there, 208 from Michelsen. That's an area that he's been trying to improve upon. Getting a little more gas on that serve.
Oh.
Again, Michelsen.
So at the break point, holds his opening service game. Michelsen originally intended to go to the University of Georgia, the Bulldogs. Not sure he even started. He turned pro in 2023.
Yeah, he never went. He gave a verbal commitment, but his results started climbing too quickly and never went.
He said it was the right decision. He was never a school kind of guy. Spends a lot of time gaming with Lunatian. They love playing Fortnite. You'd like it up at the top court here where there's a big gaming lounge. Win predictor, interesting. Not surprising Khachanov has the favouritism there, but a little closer perhaps than might have expected. Thought he might have been in the mid to high 60s.
Nice play there from Alex. Great backhand return, saw the damage and came forward. I think the win predictor was pretty on target there,
okay.
David.
Well, you're the expert.
I don't say that a lot of the time with the win predictor, but that one I think was pretty accurate. Definitely an advantage for Karen in this, I would say, but not a big one, especially with Michelsen coming out and taking out Tsitsipas in the first round.
I think players strongly advise not to look at win predictor before they go out to the court.
It's either very good or not very good for your confidence, depending on which side you're on. I've said all along, I want to know what the algorithm is that they use for coming up with the win predictor.
Yeah.
Twice out wide to the backhand on the ad side of the court. Gotten him back even. That's a nasty angle. That was dirty. So far up the line there. Nice creativity there from Alex Michelsen. Maybe watching a little Novak last night.
It was well disguised too, wasn't it?
It was well disguised. Held the two-hander there for a long time before he let it go.
Ginepri hard to please. Didn't even get a little nod. Got nothing.
He's got a high standard. He's got a very high standard.
Advantage Khachanov. Cain, Khachanov.
So two good tests in the opening service games here. Server prevailing.
Yeah, both guys tested a little bit there on their serves. This early going, few unforced errors coming off of both rackets. See if guys can just tighten things up a little bit. Michelsen with the full swinging. In the old days, we used to call that the volley volley, as in Nick Bollettieri. That was the volley that he taught. Alex actually mishit that ball. He didn't get very much on it. Normally, when you take a full swinging volley, he'd crack that thing. Didn't get a lot of penetration there. Good first serve, set that up. Everybody should stay at home on that play. This has become a very common thing here. Michelsen taking this ball basically through the middle of the court. You see more and more players doing that on that kind of a short ball that sits up.
Continuing to demonstrate his intentions of coming forward wherever he can. You forecast that at the start, Brad, and you're seeing it in the opening few games here. He likes to put that pressure on.
Makes for more entertaining watching as well. It's just more fun when you see guys that have a little bit of a contrasting style.
Faulty 15. Faulty 13.
Quick feat here by Khachanov to step up and take this ball a little bit earlier. Michelsen caught flat-footed there in the middle of the court, was looking for the cross court.
Again, Michelsen.
The American holds his serve. 2-1 in this opening
leads
set.
2 games to 1.
Are there any bananas? Okay, thanks.
Michelsen hungry already, wants some bananas. He's got 86 water bottles down by his feet.
Only 86.
Well, I've noticed more and more that they're an in-demand item, the water bottle. They're the new towel. They're the towel of 2025. The players want them, and they bring a supermarket trolley full of them onto the court.
Well, the tour's created a situation where there's no access here to single individual water bottles.
Yeah.
There are no water bottles in the locker room.
Okay.
So they provide players with these water bottles, and they have to fill that up at water stations. Is that your house, David?
No, I was about to say live shot of Brad Stein's summer house there, and there's the wing that he houses just a couple of players if you're lucky enough. That's Government House, Governor of Victoria. The flag is there, which it is. Governor is in residence.
It's a nice little shack.
Yeah. Well, they used to have a reception there before the start of the tournament back in the day. I'm not sure if you did. You ever go there?
I was never invited.
Even with Jim?
I'm hurt now.
Well, it's very nice. I missed you there.
Jim might have gone without me.
Beautiful location. Centre of the Botanic Gardens.
Both guys cleaning things up a little bit now after those first couple of service games. You see there the Khachanov grip on the forehand side, pretty extreme.
30 love.
That forehand is where he does the majority of his damage.
love. Game, Khachanov. 2 games
Holds to love. Not super fast, 2 minutes. Seen quicker. Had a couple of service games under a minute throughout the tournament so far.
I'm going to say those were probably from Riley Opelka and Pechi Pericard.
There was a game I did. I haven't done either of those two, but there's, yeah. You've got to be quick on the serve and on the draw.
When you're having to hit 4 serves to finish the game, it's going by pretty fast.
I think Zverev and Taylor Fritz may have had one as well. They both played pretty quickly. Zverev would be even faster if he didn't bounce the ball 16 times before his serve. He's up on the line ready to go, but there's a lot of bouncing.
I'm going to say you're someone that likes the game clock, David.
Depends on the point of the match. I like the drama, but early in the match I like quick pace. I'm a golfer, Brad, so pace of play is a very hot topic. If you've got 3 or 4 hours, I can. I like movement. I think a lot of the players do as well.
Well, I think the spectators do.
Yep.
That was again, here we've got just the previous point. Michelsen just overcooked a little inside-out forehand there, unforced error, and then Khachanov there just not very solid on that block forehand. It's funny, that block is a good play. You feel like it should be about a 90% return rate, and then you miss it like that, and it's frustrating as a player. Again with a forehand error off the return there. That ball was right in the wheelhouse, really.
Again,
serving command at the moment as we remain on serve. 3-2 opening set.
Michelsen leads 3 games to 2.
Opening set here. During the break there, we saw Khachanov's team having a good look at the statistics on the iPad in the coach's box. Are you liking the courtside position?
I love the courtside position. Tommy played on this court yesterday, and obviously we sat down there. I loved it. I thought it was great. You get an amazing feel for the pace and the action and what's going on exactly. It's been a point of conversation amongst the coaches, and we have a coaches association. We've tried to work with the tournaments at both the ATP and the Grand Slam level to try and get coaches seating in an area that, now that coaching is allowed, that makes sense for us. We're generally, or historically, we've been basically in the crowd, close by the court, but It's a little bit uncomfortable at times to be coaching and communicating with your player when you're in that situation sometimes. So it's nice to be separated. And
Game, Khachanov.
Another strong service game, second in a row.
3
To
games.
love for Khachanov. There's the bird's eye view, and I like this as well. The fact that the player, you know, the towel's there, but you can walk across. It's seamless. It doesn't interfere with the play. It seems to make a lot of sense. Not all the players are down with it, but I think the majority are feeling it's a pretty good thing at the moment.
Let for service.
That actually happened.
15 love. Thirty love. Forty love.
So they're having a good time of it here. Khachanov 10 points in a row. Michelsen now 6 points in a row on serve. Put it into that streak.
you did it,
effectively.
David.
Yeah.
You did it.
I just wanted to see what happened. I've got a little running, you know, tally of that, and I'm currently 89% on commentator's curse.
You're doing a research study.
Game, Michelsen.
I only do it early in the service game when they're well in command, so as not to
New ball
impact the
speed.
result. And Michelsen
Michelsen leads 4
holds.
games to 3.
It is a crazy thing, isn't it? When you know you look at the statistics and the way the match is flowing, and you know, as a play-by-play announcer, you see a serve dominant, so you make mention of it, and you know as soon as you do it that the tennis gods will rain down on the player who you're pumping up. Getting towards the business end of this opening set.
I feel like if one of these guys can just raise their level a little bit, you know, you're mentioning how they were both dictating and controlling a little bit more on their service games, but it seems to me in the return games, both guys giving away a few too many free points.
Like that, just the one break
15
point.
And not executing as well as they would like to be, both on return and then on the ground strokes as well. Obviously, you get put on defense much more quickly when you're on the return end, but you've got to try and get to the neutral point in the rallies again, where you can just settle in and grind a little bit. That was a great return there from Michelsen. Found the baseline.
One.
30-15. 40-15.
Pretty big forehand there, Karen Khachanov. .100-mile-per-hour forehand up the line. See if Alex can dig in here a little bit. Get a little bit of pressure on.
.40-30.
The most basic fundamental of tennis.
Get the ball back in play.
That is it, David. You're a smart man. Try and limit those unforced errors as much as you possibly can. See Michelsen tightening things up. Some good returns that have gotten into neutral in the rallies, and Khachanov has made errors before him. This set is revolved primarily around the unforced errors more than it has guys dominating on serve or hitting winners. Massive point here now.
But he gets the break in a crucial time in this opening set. Didn't quite get to it, did he? He made the decision to come in. It was a good approach, but this one was drifting. Just snatched it at a fraction.
Yeah, that wasn't an easy ball once it got up there. He was, I don't know if he made the decision a little bit late, but he was kind of floating in no man's land there. Definitely made that ball a little bit tougher, but catching the tape helped him out a little bit as well.
And so that means serving for this opening set. That's the way to start. It was interesting that previous game when Michelsen just taking the pace off of fraction, Brad, to get the ball back into play and stay in the rallies, and it was an effective strategy.
Yeah, it's always interesting under those pressure situations there. You want to try and play to a little bit bigger targets, create a little bit more rotation on the ball. That translates to safety. Good acceleration on this ball by Michelsen, but I have to say that Khachanov off balance on that ball. He was leaning to the forehand. You got to be more balanced there. I don't like it when you don't see the player break in the right direction. He may not be able to get to that ball, but shouldn't be caught leaning completely the wrong way there. I didn't do very well in school in math, David, especially geometry, but when you're on defense, as Michelsen was here, you see the end of this point. Nice volley from Khachanov, but he stretched out to that backhand, and he played up the line there, almost pulling the ball to the middle of the court. Just, you've got to defend cross court from that position. Left the court wide open to the deuce side, and
40, 30.
put himself on the run, but great response.
Yes.
You could see the set in a little bag then, couldn't he? And with the big one, he's had the better of the net chords, Michelsen. Not on that occasion. Back to deuce, a little tighter. That was brave, well executed. Didn't look like it was going to make it over.
Advantage, Michelsen.
You know, there's a fine line between courage and that other portion.
Well, I'm going with brave. Coach Stein, maybe not the right shot selection, Alex.
That was it was on the verge of a bailout, but you know, when you make it, great shot. Great isolation there on the technique. Very important to have the tongue out there.
That's a good set of tennis from the American. Takes the opening set 6-3, 35 minutes.
6 games to 3.
Out of the rest of that service, that return game, and was able to create a break from there.
We don't see the net points one on that statistic, but that's been a strong element of the game of Michelsen. 7 of 8. Strong work. Providing a little bit of variety. And one of the things when you're playing Khachanov is, Brad, get the first set. The scoreboard pressure sometimes, he can be a little volatile, and it's an important opening for the American. Can get a little frustrated with himself. I like his style.
$15. $30.
So win predictor, what was it, 57?
It
was
57-43 originally for Khachanov.
Okay. It'll win predictor is so fickle, it'll be all over Michelsen now. We'll get to that in a moment. Just busily recalibrating the figures, pouring things into the blender. Weather conditions. Good service game to open the second set.
First game, second set.
Win predictor's just gone to the bathroom. It's about to return. Here we go. Yeah. Very quickly changing tune by 19%. think that's maybe a little strong as well.
Yeah, that's gone a little bit the other way too much now. I could see it shifting to the 57-43 potentially. You know, you got a set in hand. But again, as we spoke about early on, Karen Khachanov is a veteran tennis player. He's been in this kind of situation many, many times.
Love 15.
Yeah. And against a young player whose career best is this stage of the tournament here last year, 3rd round. Anyway, it's a good talking point.
I think they took into consideration that Michelsen's shoelaces are cooler than Khachanov's.
Shirt colour, I think, comes into it as well.
That could be. That could be part of it.
Splash of colour at the Americans' end, whereas Khachanov thinks he's playing at Wimbledon.
We don't mean to bully the win predictor. Nicely done from Alex Michelsen. That was really well done by him. Good touch, good feel when he got to that drop shot to keep it down. Make Khachanov have to play back up to him, and he did a great job with his balance, holding his position here. Watch. Makes Khachanov have to play that off the ground and then stayed at home for the down the line ball. Wow. Slap shot from the blue line. Karen reminds me of a bit of a hockey player at times. Couldn't have taken that much earlier. Shifting fortunes here, as we often see early in the next set after a toughly contested set like that. One player, definitely Michelsen right now, dropping off. It's exactly the opposite. A few unforced errors opening the door here in this game. Along with that big forehand return from Khachanov.
Khachanov.
The strong start that Khachanov wanted has been
Khachanov
delivered.
leads 2-11.
Gets the break to lead 2-love.
Take your seat quickly, please. Thank you.
Quickly, just for a few seconds.
Love.
Nice body shot there from Khachanov on that serve. Michelsen actually did a pretty good job, I thought, of clearing enough space to make a decent return.
Third C15.
Great cross-court forehand there from Michelsen. Was put on defense, but did such a great job with the depth and pace of that ball.
Another extreme angle on the serve from Khachanov. Finds a section of the court that's pretty difficult to access.
Is the trainer here? Can you call him? Huh?
Michelsen calling for the trainer from the back of the court, I think.
Yeah, not sure why. Maybe because he's down a break here in the second set. Things start to hurt a little bit more.
Strong start for Khachanov. 3-love. See if there's a moment in time here where the hip, a little stretch there.
That looked awkward, didn't it?
Yeah. Just a little jammed up.
And then he immediately asked for the trainer after that, so may have felt something on that particular ball. That was definitely an awkward movement, not as comfortable as your typical split step and move to the ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Michelsen is now receiving an off-court medical timeout.
Plenty of discussion going on between Khachanov and his coach, Beppo.
And it's part of this on-court coaching scenario that they're in the prime position, but we're not listening into the conversations, and I think that's fair enough, Brad. I'm sure you probably agree. We love it at the United Cup where you're hearing the interactions, etc., but the stakes a little higher here. And
yeah, a little bit of a different environment when you're in that team situation, and you get to listen in on what's going on. But yeah, that's been a point of contention again with the coaches and our coaching association as to whether it should be mic'd up down there or not. Obviously, you know, spectators, fans, the commentators are interested in what's going on, but at times we feel like it's a little bit too invasive.
You have the time.
the secret sauce, it needs to remain secret sometime.
A medical timeout for Michelsen. Khachanov ready to go. This always creates a bit of a interesting / tough scenario for both players coming out of a little bit of a longer break like this. And Michelsen's going to be required to go out and immediately serve.
Thank you.
Well, the other thing with this is that the time of the medical timeout is not a rule, just a guideline, and the clock ticks, and you know, my view is that it should be a hard time, and when you had a strong start like this, Khachanov trying to just apply a little bit of pressure on the chair umpire that we're ready to go, and I'd like to see the action recommence. It's fair enough. such a physical game. But part of that is that you've got to be able to endure returning to the court. Fair enough that you leave when you've got an issue that requires treatment off the court.
Time.
It's a long break, 8 minutes. So you have the initial assessment, then you can leave the court. And this will be interesting to see the physical condition of the 20-year-old from the USA, Alex Michelsen. Down a break here. Took the first set, 6-3.
Halt.
Few opportunities to put that one away.
That was an incredibly well played point by Alex Michelsen right up until those overheads, the two easiest shots he had in the point. He shanked the first one, and he shanked the second one worse. Shanked it so well that Khachanov couldn't get to it. Some quality shanking.
It's my sort of game. Sun now right on midday. Not quite central, but certainly
15 up.
serving to the ad court, looking into it from that southern end. After such an impressive finish to the opening set, it's been a tough start to the second for Michelsen.
It's such a common factor. He just let his level drop a little bit in that game that he got broken in.
15.
Don't think the hip was a factor prior to that one move in the last service game that Khachanov had.
Let's for service.
Just discussing with his box that he's having difficulty seeing into the sun. Just getting a little agitated. Michelsen, hip issue, sun bothering him. Needs to look up at the scoreboard, Brad, and see that he's got the first set.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind yourself.
Again.
That's an important hold there. Try and settle things back down again here.
3 games to 1.
It's good that he's down at this end right now. Robbie Ginepri give him a little bit of help.
Experienced campaigner. World number 15 at his peak. Semi-final of the US Open. 4th round here, so he knows what it's all about.
Just got to remind him that it's early in this set as well. You're only down 1 break now.
15 love.
Dig in. You got to hope that you can create a chance for yourself. We saw in that first set that Karen Khachanov wasn't vulnerable from making some unforced errors under pressure. It's up to Michelsen to be able to create that pressure for him.
Oh.
There we see Michelsen, as he was doing in the first set, attacking a little bit more, coming forward.
15-13.
Applying that instantaneous pressure that's created when you come to the net. Khachanov stepping up to the pressure there on the serve.
First time over 200 today for Khachanov, 203.
Again, Khachanov.
So with the break, out to a
Khachanov
4-1
leads 4 games
lead
to
in
1.
this second set.
It's Super Saturday here at the Australian Open inside Cain Arena. I'm joined by Catherine. Let's give a big round of applause to Catherine, everybody. All right. How you doing, Catherine?
Good.
Catherine, who's your favourite player?
I don't really know.
We have two players out there, Karen Khachanov and Alex Michelsen. Are you going for Karen or Alex?
Alex.
Alex, fantastic. Who here is supporting Alex Michelsen here today? Okay. And who here is supporting Karen Khachanov? Wow, okay. Karen, you've got Mum here with you today, is that
Time.
right? You want to say hi to Mum on the big screen? Thanks, Captain. We're going to start playing soon, okay?
So after losing the opening set 6-3, just towards the back end of the set, Michelsen prevailed, but a strong second set opening for Khachanov. Had an 8-minute injury break after 3 games, but trading serves since then.
Nice ball. This is the most misleading score in tennis right
15
here.
love.
4-1s, 5-2s when you're only down 1 break. It feels like you're a long ways away, but just important for Alex to keep holding serve here. Try and might have seen Khachanov breaking to the backhand side there. Just pressed a little bit.
Thirteen, 15.
too central on the approach there. Pulled that towards the middle of the court.
30.
Just made for too easy a pass.
Fault.
Dangerous here. Second serve, down a break already. See if Khachanov pulls the trigger here.
Out.
40-30.
That's a bad air. Basic rally ball there from Khachanov.
Again, Michelsen. Khachanov leads 4-2.
They can apologise to each other.
Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, back-to-back net cords, evening each other up.
Not sure Alex was going to have a great advantage out of that approach shot anyway, but the let court just sat it up. Nice little feel there in the drop shot. Michelsen trying to go over the top. Karen Khachanov's a pretty big fella.
And 6'6", not too many taller players.
30-15.
Difficult to get past when he's terrorising the net.
Let for service.
Pressure point here. Who's going to step up? First part of the chess match is for Michelsen. Trying to pick the right side for the serve.
Let for service. 40-30.
Just hanging around, staying in the game. Khachanov not able to close it out.
Halt!
Nice job by Alex Michelsen.
Advantage Michelsen.
Great attacking off the return there. Good first volley, quick movement up there at the net.
There it is again. It's been successful, as it is once again. Gets the break back.
New balls, please.
Just a drop of intensity from
Khachanov leads
Khachanov,
4 games to 3.
Michelsen, a little renewed spark.
Watch the disguise here on this drop shot. Sets the racket. Forehand? No. Changed the grip at the last second.
Is there a poker player's tell there when the tongue goes out? Was that Boris Becker on the serve?
That was a little bit easier though, because it was as he.
So back on serve here after Khachanov went out to a 3-love lead. We had the injury timeout. Traded service holds. Got a break in the 7th game. New balls here.
Yeah, if you're in the Michelsen camp, you want him to keep coming forward, keep attacking. To me, that's been one of the biggest differences in the match so far, both sets.
15 minutes.
Created that break point with an attacking play off the deuce side and then finished with the drop shot. And the drop shot was opened up because of the attacking plays. Khachanov looking for him to come in and put pressure on him.
$15. $30-15. $40-15.
Michelsen again, similar to the first set from that 15-40 start on his unforced errors. Picked up his level of aggression coming forward.
4 games all.
Big shift in momentum, even though the scoreboard signifying 4-all.
Late for service. That's why there was a delay. The mic was off. Yeah, and then I switched off again. Well, because I just coughed. I coughed between points and I didn't switch it on. Just my mistake.
First or second?
First.
First.
Interesting little exchange
No,
there.
15.
The umpire taking responsibility. Michelsen saying that it was the very obvious let. Khachanov wanted the point. Umpire said he had turned the mic off because he was going to cough and then couldn't call the let. Points of the match so far. Probably the best pure ball striking we've seen.
30-15.
A little more venom in Michelsen's ground strokes. We saw a slight dip at the start of this set, but it's raising the level once again.
$40-15. Khachanov.
Khachanov holds serve.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Now, Brad, as a former long jumper, their jump songs are my #1 thing, and Van Halen jump is the #1.
Oh, that was that your go-to pump
Well,
up?
that would work. Great film clip as well. Not as good as Pointer Sisters jump, which actually had jumpers in the film clip, but it's pretty good.
I listened to this song on the way to the first time I ever jumped out of an airplane.
Wow.
Which was the last time I ever jumped out of an airplane. See a little frustration there at the end of that. Khachanov. First point, these kind of games deep in a set, so big for establishing momentum. He just missed that return by the slightest bit.
30-11.
Nice flat wide serve from Michelsen. 200 Ks, 124 miles per hour for those of us that use that system more often. That
30-15.
way too good. Khachanov took that very early. Impossible to read the change of direction there.
Let's for service.
Great forehand from Michelsen that time.
40-15.
Held it nicely. Froze Khachanov on the baseline on the other side, and then full commitment and acceleration through that ball. That's a clean game right there from Alex Michelsen. Thought he might feel a little bit of pressure there at the 4-5. Always tough to be the guy serving from behind in this situation. And now the pressure back on Khachanov.
And this was the point in the opening set where Khachanov dropped his service game. Gave Michelsen the chance to serve for the set, which he did without any duress. Painting the lines. Michelsen, he was
15 love.
playing with not much margin.
Yeah, that backhand down the line was surgical accuracy. This one right here, a couple of inches inside. It was a great get to defend that shot from Khachanov. Michelsen unable to execute on the next ball. If you're Alex Michelsen, those kind of balls right there, you've got to start recognizing Khachanov has not beaten him cross court on that ball yet. He's taken that ball up the line, inside out every single time. Michelsen's got to read that. He's got to sit on that a little bit earlier.
Let's for service.
So strong service game from Khachanov. Holds to love.
Khachanov leads 6 games to 5.
Not easy operating from the southern end at the moment. Bright sunshine.
It's tough when you toss the ball up on the serve and then you're trying to pick the return coming at you if you've had to look into the sun.
Time.
Still don't see players wearing the sunglasses that often, do you? It's a rarity.
No, it's only been a few guys historically. Arnaud Clement, Tipsarevic, who's now coaching Denis Shapovalov. Those guys were the sunglasses guys. Tommy was in discussions for a while with a sunglasses company, but tried to wear him while he was training and practicing. He just couldn't do it. Just wasn't comfortable.
There we go.
It's not going to go away.
I guess it's the head movement, the constant head movement. And they're pretty secure.
15 up.
The sports sunglasses, but
I think they get steamed up a little bit also.
Okay.
You know, you're sweating out there. And see if Alex Michelsen can find the right spot for a toss here. Nope, not that one. You got to try and move your toss around a little bit when you're in this situation. And that's the tough part.
15
You saw
up.
there on that toss, he actually tossed that a little bit further behind his head, almost more like a second serve type toss. It's like I said, it's you're looking up into the sun there and then trying to pick up the return when it comes back aggressively like that early right away is. Michelsen needs to keep it together right now.
30.
Battling the sun. Battling his opponent, battling himself a little bit. All these points absolutely enormous right now.
Let for service.
He's done a heck of a good job there again. Seems to be that ad side that's bothering him a little bit more than the
30.
deuce, but that time he let the toss go out to the right a little bit more. He hit more of a hard slice on a second serve there.
it seemed to be a very short toss too compared to what we've been seeing in this side. He's going out very wide from his starting position.
I'm not sure that changes the location of the sun, but what a pass from that position.
40-30.
All the way back in the shaded portion of the court here. Huge shot. Deuce 5-6 to come up with that.
Huge game from Michelsen.
Again,
Sends it to a tie break.
Michelsen.
Heck of an effort from that end, struggling with that sun.
6 games
through there.
all, tiebreak.
Interesting in that point when Khachanov threw up that high deep lob. Michelsen wanted no part of trying to hit an overhead. Wasn't going to look up into the sun again.
So off to a tie break we go to decide the second set.
A little bit of cat and mouse in that point.
1-0 Khachanov.
Thought he may have gone around the net there. It's pretty hard when the chair umpire is there. A lot of impediments on that side.
Yeah, that might have affected his shot selection there. He played that a little bit to the middle. Tough now again, battling the sun down here as he has to get through these points in the breaker.
If he can do that, though, he's going to have the advantage because Khachanov will be down there for the first time for a little while. Added factor into this tiebreak, an important one, obviously.
Here we go again. Third time he's been out here wide. He's gone first time to the tee, second time out wide.
Two, one, Michelsen. Two all.
Tongue's out again, so I'm not sure that that's a.
It's not the drop shot giveaway.
No, maybe not. I need to pay a little closer attention.
Oh. Three, two, Michelsen.
Little gift from Karen Khachanov there. As you said, this is a big point now. Michelsen, last point, playing with the sun in his face.
He'd love a good serve here, wouldn't he? And retreat to the other end.
That's a great forehand from Khachanov there.
3-all.
Back on serve in the breaker. Mini breaks exchanged. Interesting how Khachanov moves with his racket down low there as he's moving to that forehand.
One more serve to come from Michelsen, and then Khachanov's going to have to deal with the sun from the other end, having a quick look up to see what it's preparing.
Planning ahead already.
It's becoming a factor at this time of day. 10 minutes to 1.
4-3, Michelsen.
Beyond the fact that that must have felt good to get a free point there. Must have felt good tossing the ball.
Yep.
Khachanov's turn to have to deal with the sun now.
It's going to be like that for another hour or so until it moves further across.
We saw Michelsen seem to struggle a little bit more on this ad side. See if Khachanov. Nice job on the defensive slice from Karen Khachanov. That's not something that you see him use a lot. Slice backhand. Thought Michelsen had really constructed a good point there. It's in an advantageous position. Karen didn't seem to be bothered by the sun there at all on that last serve.
He's a couple of inches closer to it. Might provide a different angle. Yeah, big serving. You're right. No concern whatsoever.
Khachanov.
No margin for error for either guy now. Oh my goodness. I thought Michelsen made a little bit of a poor choice there on the first shot. Got himself in trouble.
6-5 Michelsen.
But what a response here.
He's found the lines on more than one occasion, hasn't he? That was inside it. Khachanov can only watch it sail past. Huge point for both players.
Interesting there that Karen didn't try to at least make a swing at that ball as well. I think, he obviously thought the ball was going long, but I thought he could have put his racket out and potentially put that ball back in play.
Well, strong work from the young American. Comes from
And second set,
love 3
Michelsen.
down. Fights back. Takes the set in the tiebreak to go 2
7-6.
sets to love in front.
Michelsen leads 2 sets to love.
It's fascinating, the conditions playing such a big part, and he got to the end that he wanted to get to in the tiebreak. To be fair, Khachanov served well from the end into the sun when he went down there during the tiebreak, and just Michelsen came up with that huge point, being able to get the single set point, and that was it. He made the most of his single opportunity.
Clearly out to the right.
Love 15.
See if he can maintain his level here. That's where he got in trouble at the start of the second set. Dropped serve early. Just a little drop off in his focus and intensity from the last game of the first set. Carried on into the second set. That's just
15.
not a great volley there from Karen Khachanov. Had the court open. This one not too bad. Michelsen on the run and wide open court there. Just didn't do anything with it. We see Michelsen again. Hasn't gotten a lot out of that play so far. It's the 4th time he's done it.
So if
you're just joining us, recap here that young American Alex Michelsen, just the one break point, made the most of it in the first set. 6-3, and then in the tiebreak, after being down love 3 early in the second set, again just pressed at the right time to take the tiebreak. He has had some difficulty at this end into the sun, hanging in there as we commence this third set.
Back to the more conventional single serving location on this side.
Door's been open for Khachanov on more than one occasion, hasn't it, on the Michelsen serve?
He's hurt himself as much as Alex has hurt him. He's hurt himself. Just that last ball, for example, 30 all point there with a forehand on his racket. Just lets it slide a little bit wide. Michelsen letting him hang around, though, with unforced error of his own.
Lead for service.
Nicely done and finished that time by Khachanov.
Advantage, Khachanov.
Nice touch, good feel on that volley to finish. Definitely the area of the court that he's least comfortable with. Michelsen caught him looking for the forehand there. I like the fact that Alex Michelsen was serving and volleying there as well. Break point down.
Advantage, Michelsen.
Give.
Advantage, Michelsen.
You see the frustration from Khachanov. He's aware. Just too many unforced errors.
It's a good service game, a big service game from Michelsen, with the advantage of serving first, saves a break point.
First
to
game,
hold
third
serve.
set.
Khachanov has come from 2 sets to love down 3 times in his career. To go back to the French Open 2023 for the last time against Constantin Lestienne. Beat Jannik Sinner, the US Open in 2020, and Francis Tiafoe, Wimbledon in 2018 from 2 sets to love down.
They're $100 bottles and I can't keep water cold.
Michelsen complaining the fact that the water's too warm. Typical American,
ice,
David.
yeah.
You need some ice.
Yeah.
We like ice in our
Jerry,
drinks.
would you like ice with that? It's a redundant question. The US.
Yeah, we don't want 2 ice cubes either.
No, you need a.
We want it filled to the top.
That's a marketing ploy, though, so you have less drink, more ice.
Yeah, well, there's some part of that might not be entirely untrue.
Bottomless cup's a thing, though, so you know you can go back to the dispenser.
Those bottles that they get, Tommy was actually reading his the other day. It's supposed to keep it cold for over 24 hours. Hot for only 6 hours.
Okay.
But cold for over 24 hours. So either the water's not coming out of the dispenser particularly cold, or he's got a deficient bottle.
We did tell us, Brad, when we commenced, the reason why the players have got so many water bottles is that plastic is frowned upon. Sustainability. So Khachanov needs to dig and rely on the fact that he knows that he's been there before, come back from 2 sets to love down. Also that this venue at the Australian Open is a happy one for him. Well, having saved the break points in his opening service game, Michelsen, this would be a statement here early in the 3rd set. Too good.
Way too good.
It's actually impressive. We sit high in the stand here at Cain Arena, and to watch that movement, to watch the way the ball's in play, didn't press even on the passing shot then. It was just picking the right time and then pulling the trigger. It's great to watch. Young player on the rise.
Alfie, the one on the sun.
Again, the variety here from Michelsen. Drop shot's been strong for him.
Yeah, his aspect of attacking and coming forward has been such a key for the entirety of this match.
Wasn't clear whether the tongue was in or out then on that drop shot, Brad. So.
We're still not clear. We're still not sure. More research needed. Tell you what, whatever the win predictor says right now, I'm with him.
Yeah.
Okay, Michelsen.
So strong start to the third
New
set.
balls, please. Michelsen leads 3 games to love.
Khachanov, whose fuse can burn a little quickly, just getting a little anxious about what's taking place here against the young American.
At this point, which you would expect. We saw the frustration as he hammered that ball out of the stadium when he lost the second set. But then to drop serve so quickly in the third.
Time.
So possibly a breakout match for the young American. Alex Michelsen not there yet, but having made the third round here last year, looking for a spot in the round of 16 for the first time at a Grand Slam. Certainly in a strong position from here. Zero change in the demeanour of coach Robbie Ginepri. He knows that it's not over yet.
Love 15.
Khachanov looking for answers as to why he's missing so many balls, particularly on that forehand side, I think. Not sure he's getting them. Still a big game here for both guys.
Fifteen, 30.
That's more of what you would expect on a regular basis from Karen Khachanov, but just hasn't been able to produce this kind of execution consistently. A little bit erratic when it comes to those kind of points. You would think that he would be wanting to extend these points. It tends to be his game.
Oh.
Big second serve there, coming into the forehand, a little bit of a change-up in location. And with the pace, 171 on the second serve there.
No. Good saying, Brad. When you're treading on thin ice, you may as well tap dance. Sometimes you have to, don't you?
Karen Khachanov.
Can't say I've heard that one before.
You needed to hold.
Michelsen
3-1. Get on the scoreboard.
3-1.
Michelsen down there battling the sun again.
It's worth remembering, just 20 years of age. Second Australian Open and just 6th Grand Slam.
Love 15.
Yeah, opening with a little bit of a gift. Yeah, very true. But at the same time, I think that if you've followed Alex Michelsen at all, it's been a consistent progression forward with his development. Great countering forehand there.
15 on.
He has beaten a top 20 player before. You have to go all the way back to last Monday. For the first time he did that against Tsitsipas. That was the breakout performance.
Thirty 15.
And again here with Karen Khachanov, this is a ball that you would at least expect him to put in play. That's what pressure at the net does, though, sometimes. Coming forward, being in that position forces the opponent to have to come up with something. Just overplayed that ball a little bit. Khachanov still here for the fight, though.
Yeah.
Big point here, keeping himself in this game. Good execution that time on the forehand. Held it, had time. See if Michelsen can battle through another game from this end of the court. A bit more research, David.
40 30.
If you've only just joined us, we've discovered that the youngster Alex Michelsen likes to hang the tongue out on occasions, and we've seen it. The tongue's out there from Khachanov for other reasons, but when there's a drop shot, the tongue has been out. Not sure it's a poker face tell. Seems to like playing numerous shots in that fashion. Now, he's been immense in the big moments. Leads 4-1.
Michelsen leads 4 games to 1.
It's been full of merit, hasn't it? Some of the shot making, decision making, execution.
That last forehand with some surgical accuracy. Just inside the line.
So you mentioned Brad Stein. It's a flattering scoreline, just the one break of serve. Khachanov now dealing with the problematic end, the tricky southern end here. Seems to have dealt with it pretty comfortably. A little easier at that end than Michelsen has been.
Yeah, you would imagine now we're another 35, 40 minutes. The sun has to have moved a little bit.
Possibly more into the side that he's looking at now, directly behind Michelsen.
Start 40 love.
Fault.
Faulty, 15. Karen Khachanov. Michelsen leads 4 games to 2.
Well, every hold of serve is going to be important from this point on for Khachanov. This one here really important for Michelsen from the safe end for him.
Alex Michelsen looking full of confidence right now. Body language between points, the execution on that last forehand was very fluid, very free on that swing.
Fault. Out.
30 love.
Out.
30, 15.
I'm kind of feeling like he was owed one there. The net has not been in his favour. urging that ball to go long.
A couple of nice fight back points from him. Gets 30 all here. Keeping himself alive here. And he's gone to that block forehand return a little bit here in this game, and that one just a little bit too short. Michelsen, nice play on the backhand approach.
Well, he picked the right way. He went the right way.
Michelsen.
Holds and leads 5-2.
Not sure how much of the strings he used on those last 3 balls.
Michelsen leads 5-2.
Well, last time I looked at a racket, the frame is part of it, and he used it there. It's good movement. Good. Yeah, that one. That was just a reflex.
Khachanov read that approach, was moving that way early. That one he just was struggling to reach to, and then was almost defending himself on that one. We'll give you the number 1 for a minute there, Alex, on that one.
Time.
Two hours and 11 minutes has been the duration of Cain Arena. Looking for a spot in the 4th round. Alex Michelsen, impressive. Khachanov now serving to stay alive.
Halt.
Alex Michelsen looking very comfortable right now. He's found his range on the ground strokes, moving extremely well. Khachanov looking a bit pensive out there, trying to get himself through this game. Huge game here. Make Michelsen serve for the match.
And that'll come from the sketchy end too if it does pan out that way with a service hold here. So absolutely crucial, clearly, for Khachanov.
That's a nice return there. Solid.
15-30.
Margin for error.
Brings up the match points here. After beating Tsitsipas in the opening round, that was his first win against a top 20 player. This would be number 2. He joined. Here's some names for you, Brad. Sampras and Agassi, the last time a young American, maybe the youngest American to claim multiple top 20 wins at a Grand Slam. That happened in 1990. It's rarefied company to be keeping. The rise of Alex Michelsen continues. The young American
6-3, 7-6, 6-2.
through the fourth round of the Grand Slam for the first time. A rising star. Straight sets.
I wouldn't have expected that in straight sets if you'd asked me prior to the match, but really well done by Alex Michelsen, especially that second set to fight through, come back from a breakdown, find a way in that